Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, my royalty. It's time to get out the petty tea. Let's, sip, enjoy. This is going to be kind of a topic when it comes to the needy and everything like that, but it's going to have more of a focus on dating and dating apps. And you're going to be like, how in the world do those connect? Yeah. Let's just say, especially right now with the government shutdown, talking to people on dating apps and even bringing it up and finding out what some of them actually think, it kind of helps people make sure they don't end up in divorce because it's like, okay. As you guys know, it's like I've shown you so many screenshots. And if you're brand new, hi, welcome. Just know I am the handicapable black woman. I talk about just about everything. My my channel's my channel. It's like I was gonna say, should I say social media? But yes, like I still need to work on the website and I'm gonna keep debating if I'm gonna do TikTok. I don't know, but yeah, basically my channel is as messy as my life. I talk about everything and anything because as a writer, I bring up anything and everything with my characters. I want them to be three dimensional. I want you to see all of the parts of them and their identity. And yeah, yeah. So, but if you're new, yeah, I talk about my undiagnosis, misdiagnosis, and diagnosis, and the mental hit that it had on me, especially with my like the I know I've talked a lot about the heartache and pain with my mother-daughter relationship with my mother. And I know it's like part of me feels like I need to at least try to say some of the good, but I feel like since I wasn't diagnosed for so long that so much of the pain and so much of the travesty of what I've had to go through kind of interfered with the relationship that we might have been able to have. Because I still don't like, sometimes I wonder, was that what, like, there was so much friction. We started like, we probably literally started fires with the friction within our relationship. But yeah, so let's just say I'm going to be talking more about the family relationships and everything like that. But um, yeah, today is going to be the dating because some of the things you guys or some of the things these men have been saying. I don't know about the women because I don't like with the dating apps, yeah, it's the men. So but yeah, I'm just gonna be fair and say it's probably the women too. I just don't have the proof of it because yeah, like I said, I'm dating the men. So, but okay. When I see or when I ask men about politics, period, do you know how many of them say, that's not ladylike, you're not supposed to do that, that's not feminine, why are you talking about politics? And then some of them who, yeah, they're Republican, but they don't have it on their profile or they skip that question. I'm at a point where if you skip that question on like Hinge or Bumble, and just last, well, 2 nights ago, I started the duet profile and I didn't even like finish it, and men were already trying to match with me. And I'm just like, dude, I didn't even finish. And it just shows me how a lot of men, they don't care what women think. And that's one reason why they say the men, like women are supposed to be submissive because they don't want us to think. They just think, oh, women, man's property. Women do as men say. Women look pretty for a man. Woman is like he only likes you because you're pretty, so behave yourself so that maybe you can get pretty ring and you can get nice house, car, or whatever. Like yeah. So that's really annoying. And it's frustrating because I'm seeing it more and more with how I talk to the men, because trying to date, trying to match, and it just proves how and why I've given up. Like I'm 80% given up on dating, 20% like, okay, maybe there is some hope. I don't know, but maybe there is just a little bit of hope. You never know. But bringing up politics, oh, bringing up the politics. It's like some men have said, "Oh, well, I want to make it to a first date, baby." Well, I was hoping that you and I can at least have a couple romantic dinners before, and I'm just like, wait. So, why wouldn't we have a romantic dinner even after we talk about politics? And it's like, because they don't know that they're showing themselves, they're proving themselves that I'm not gonna like you as, like, especially as dating person, because I've even told some of the guys that are moderates or whatever, we're probably not compatible politically, but it's like we can still chat while you look for your lady, while you look for your woman. And oh, they hate that. They hate that. It's like some of them just think that just because they want to talk to me, I should be like, oh my gosh, it's a man. Yay. I'm not that. Like, after all of the crap I've been through since breaking up with Mr. No Heart, I'm not that girl anymore. Because after breaking up with him, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to get out there and find my guy and stuff. But so many of these men lie like nobody's business, or they skip questions because they're like, oh, if I skip it, she's not going to ask about it. If I skip it, then she's not going to realize that we don't have it in common. And so that's why, with, like, I wish Plenty of Fish dating would put politics to it. But yeah, I'm waiting on that one. And it's just really just like, it's crazy how many Republican men try to match with me, but it's like they swiped right on me, but then I'm looking at their profiles and I either see them wearing one of the red hats, or they have a picture of the guy in, even in their bedroom, or they have the Confederate flag. And like, especially in Michigan, I think it's funny. It's like when you live in Michigan, when you are in the mid-10 state, and you have a Confederate flag hanging. Yeah, you can't say that's because, like, no, don't lie. Don't lie. It's like, why are you trying to date a black woman while having that kind of flag in your room? And, or they have like the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, but then they have some other hints on top of that. Don't tread, like, you're trying to, like, it's at a point where sometimes when I look at the profiles, I just kind of have a feeling that they're trying to turn me into strange fruit. Yeah, but then even with what's going on with the snaps and food stamps and everything, uh, the disgusting things I've heard some of these men say. Because some of the men are just like, well, if they starve, at least we're getting rid of some of the nuisances of this country. At least if they starve, then I mean, that's just going to leave more money for other things, that, like construction. And it's like, our governor says she wants to fix the roads. At least that money can go to that. Oh, so then I have to, like, I just, I play it cool, because I've learned, like, if I don't, that's when they start swearing at me, and even sometimes calling me the N word, and just like, and part of me is just like, okay, so you're racist, but you're trying to date, and this is why, like, yeah, I'm gonna try my best to, like, put these up in the correct order, but this is why oh no, one of the episodes is already up too. This is why I talk about how some of you, especially colonizers, some of you men, you have no business dating a black woman or a person of color, especially a black woman or black people. Like, because even some of these colonizing white women, ooh, it's like they date black men, they want black men, but then while they like raise their mixed children, the things they do and say, and it's pretty disgusting and awful and terrible. But then they wonder why we don't trust them. They wonder why we don't trust them. No. Anyway, it, they say they want to date us. But they don't want to date us. They want to use us. They want to take advantage of us, and or they want to have a check mark on their list. It's like I don't know where the screenshot is or which episode, but this is like I don't show that this one as much because oh yeah, if you're new, I share over five like okay on with the episodes. I think I'm around 200 screenshots that I show from dating apps, but I have over 500. They're on my Patreon. Check it out because yeah, especially when people call me the N word or when they're, I mean, being racist in different ways, or they call me out of name, or they try to tell me, you're nothing but a Jim Crow, you're nothing but a slave because of how you think politically, and yada yada yada, all that. Yeah. So yeah, check that out. It's and right now it's only $2 and $4 a month. I try to make it like so that, and I mean I have a free level, but the dating nightmare ones aren't on the free level. I have more political and like current events or past events, but a lot of the past events are coming up again and they repeat. And one reason is if you don't teach people about the past, they repeat. I tell this to everybody. I say this all the time. And this is why I talk about the domino effect in so many of my episodes too. Because there's cause and effect. Sometimes people only want to talk about the current because they're ashamed of the past. They don't like okay, I'm everywhere with this episode. And I do this a lot, but it's because of cause and effect. A lot of colonizers, a lot of Republicans, a lot of MAGA, they want to take out the items about slavery in the museums. But we have to really dissect that and think about that. Because even with some of the Republicans and some of the ignorant, bigoted people in the White House right now, and that's all in my opinion, but that's my opinion and I stand by it. A lot of them keep saying, we need to look at now. We need to look at how far we've come. We need to look. Okay, but we also need to look at the past and how we got to where we are. Because when we literally have colonizers trying to colonize certain land to only where the colonizers can live, and they don't want any black people, colored people, or like LGBTQ or anything like that allowed in their cities, we have to look at that history. We have to look at the slavery history. We have to look at the Jim Crow history. We have to look at redlining. And because, yeah, and do you know there's even people who immigrate from Africa who don't believe in redlining? They don't know and understand the history, but then they don't know the history of expressways and highways, and the highways were built in a way to keep black people out. The highways were like a mechanism for redlining, but people don't like they don't know much of their history. While they say there's no racism, they're literally driving on pathways and streets and land that proves the fact of racism, bigotry, and hate. It's like, I don't know, it's just disgusting and awful and terrible. But then while talking to these guys online or on dating apps, well, people try to say that the orange man is racist. He's not racist. How is he not? And then they try to give me that garbage about, oh, he gave this much to the HBCUs. But I'm like, okay, did you look up how much past presidents, other presidents gave? So because okay, the orange man is great at manipulating marketing. Remember, my MBA is in internet marketing, but studied marketing and everything like that. And my bachelor's, I will have a minor in businesses. So it's like I've studied and looked at and read about business, and then I've worked as a promotional model for 12, 13 years. So what like looking at his marketing, it's he's really good at manipulating things, including falsehoods and facts, and mixing them together. Because when it comes to slavery, everyone needs to learn what went on. And some people are like, well, slavery happened all around it was different in America. It was different in America. But they don't teach that. They don't want to teach that K through 12 because they want to keep the colonizers as racist, bigoted, awful, terrible as possible. And they want to make sure that the generation after generation of bigotry is increased. And in my opinion, that's one reason why they're trying to create in every school that one CK organization. It's like now I forgot the name of it, but that whole Kirk thing, like um, changing point, like something point or whatever. But they're trying to require it in so many school districts, and now I'm finding out that Royal Oak is trying to have like one, and I'm like, and out of all school districts, like Royal Oak is known for being a wonderful community with diversity and everything. And like having, and this is all in my opinion, but like we all know, like you all know what I think about like that, or, yeah. You already know what I think about it. So I don't even have to go through that. But talking to some of these guys on the dating apps about on top of Snap and them saying the awful thing, like some of them are just, why should we give our tax money? They don't even work. Yes, they do. A good amount of them work. And some of them, their kids have disabilities. So their jobs is making sure that their child stays alive. What? No, they just need to put them in a nursing home. Do you know there's been a couple men who've told me that. Just put the kid in a nursing home and then they can get a real job. Oh, well, that's their child and they love their child and they want to be with their child. And shouldn't the child be able to be with their family members for as long as possible? And don't you think the parent would be able to give that loving care? Is like, I mean, some aren't able, some have to go into adult homes and things like that. But not all, not many. And wouldn't you want that parent to be able to take care of their child? Well, why did they have that child in the first place? Maybe if they had known that that child was going to be born with a disability, then they should have what? Talking to a woman with a disability, they should have what? Oh yeah, it was like, I'm not talking about you because yeah, I normally tell them I have a disability beforehand, and so when they try to say that, it's like yeah, it's like they already know. Like by the time I hang up, I'm already getting ready to block them because especially Republicans will say they're pro-life, but then they're against people with disabilities. But then it's like God doesn't make mistakes, so it's like, and also having disability, that we live our lives differently, but we're still human. We should still be allowed to exist. And it, I don't like just some, especially when I got to that topic with the food stamps about like do you know the percentage of people who are on food stamps that have disabilities? And it's like some of them are not able to work, some work part-time, some do as much as they can, but it's not enough, especially on top of prescriptions and or physical therapy or any other therapy or assistance that they need. They still need some help financially for the food, because some, like, even those that do work either part-time or as much as they can, a lot of that money is going towards different resources that are not given or that are not paid for by their health insurance. And it's like, if we had insurance for all, if we had health insurance for all, then people with disabilities may not need it. It's like, and if we had health insurance for all, then a lot of people might not need. It's like because since they won't have to pay for that insurance that is so expensive and only increasing, maybe that money can go towards the food. So then less people would need the food assistance. And then maybe some of that money can go towards the road, like that one jerk told me that one time. But it's like they're so scared of socialism, like the people on the right, the people, the Republican MAGAs, but they don't want socialism until they personally need socialism. Like the farmers are a prime example. But even with food stamps, do you know how many I keep seeing videos of Democrats saying how now their Republican family members who are on food stamps are now calling them for financial help, saying they need the assistance, they need help, and almost everything leans towards socialism. They're against it until they literally need it personally. And then look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She changed her mind on parts of the great big bill because it's affecting her children personally. And I keep saying this and I'm going to keep saying it. So many of these MAGA people, they love to throw out hate until that hate frisbees back directly at them. Then all of a sudden, because some of them they're against LGBTQ, they want to outlaw it, and oh, my daughter's LGBTQ. Never mind, guys, never mind. Yeah, LGBTQ, they're good people, they're great people. Okay, yeah, let's stop. Yeah, yeah. It's only when it affects them directly. Until then, they don't care, especially if it's only interfering with the black people, because that's what a lot of these people only thought the SNAP benefits and food stamps and everything like that were only going to affect the black people. And that's like all of these people on Halloween who decided to go blackface. I'm going to talk about that in a whole different episode. But they try to stereotype us and even try to talk about our nails and the eyelashes and the wigs. And it's like, honey, boo boo, have yeah, okay, yeah, I'll save it for another episode. But it's just really, if you hate on our beauty so much, why do you keep copying off of us? It's like, if you hate our beauty so much, why do you guys keep copying us so much? Do you know how many Caucasian women I see with the fake nails? Maybe not, they may not be as long, but they're pretty. Like, even my ex's mother, almost every time, or no, every time, no, every single time, it's like that's one thing she was going to get done was her nails. hmm And then even my ex's oldest daughter, oh, she was so happy. Like she would get the longer ones too. Not as long as they're trying to stereotype, but they were pretty, there. And I was like, she was so happy and proud of getting the coffin like shape too. Like, I don't know, I will never forget that day when I first got into the house. I only took like 2 steps into the house, and she was like already in my face with like these long coffin shaped nails. And oddly enough, this is I think a month, maybe 2 months after my mom passed away. So she keeps saying coffin, and I'm just like, uh-huh, yeah. And it's like, look, like coffin shape, aren't they so cute? Yeah, they're the shape of a coffin. And I'm like, yeah, uh-huh. And so, but I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that sometime, someday. Like, yeah, but I don't know. It's just seeing all these people do blackface and they try to hate on us. But now it's like we have a lot of Democrats saying how they're Caucasian or colonizing shade, like Republican MAGA lovers call them, trying to ask for money because now they want to be treated like socialism, but they hate socialism. But then they want to hate on black people and people with disabilities, and they want to say that they don't work, they don't make it, they need to contribute, when a lot of them do. And some people, they contribute in different ways or the ways that they can. but and then they say they all lives matter, but then when it comes to people with disabilities and or even raising the minimum wage so more people would be able to be independent upon themselves, it's like they just want the rich to get richer. And this is why I say, like, people keep wanting to blame the poor when the poor, they're working. The poor, some of them have two jobs because, like, with some of these companies that don't want to pay a livable wage, but then they get like around $5,000 to $9,000 per person they hire that are on food stamps, but they have to keep them on food stamps to keep that money coming in. Yeah, just think, like, how selfish, how great of a leader are you when you're literally keeping these people down? So now they need two jobs, which now that you take, like, people want to say, you guys need to stay at home and take care of your children. How can you when you don't make enough? How can you when you have to work like 50, 60 hours a day? It's like, how can you when you don't get weekends off? You have to work another job. How can you? It doesn't make, like, you can't. You absolutely can't. And it's unfair. But when I talk to some of these men on these dating apps, they don't care. But then at the same time, a lot of them have the nerve to tell me that politics don't matter. Huh. It doesn't matter, but you're telling me that they shouldn't have had kids anyway. It's like maybe if they didn't have babies, they wouldn't need to be on the program. But then when I mentioned, well, if their bosses pay them a livable wage, and they're like, oh, well, they should have went back to school to get that. And so then I tell them about, like, I've already told you guys about the zoo situation, and even with my bachelor's, I kept trying to find work, trying to find jobs. But then since I have a walking disability, it wasn't diagnosed, so I didn't have that to, and like that's one reason I'm going to be trying to take them to court or the health insurance. Yeah, like let's just you're going to find out more about that once I get to different levels and everything with this whole thing, but it's a nightmare. But it's like people want to judge the poor. They want to judge the people on Snap. And I just have to say, how dare you? With the way capitalism is choking this country, and sometimes the company too, but the country, how they're suffocating us with money. It's like, or actually, no, they're suffocating us in drought of money and opportunity and freedom and liberty. But then it's like, you see the rich. It's like they're so rich, they're cloning their dogs. And it's like, ah, oh, it's amusing. But with all of the men who keep telling me that politics doesn't matter, and I am just supposed to get to know the man as who he is. That's all that matters, even though he's telling me that it's okay if people starve. If they starve and die, then that just leaves more money for the pavements. That's all. That's all. And I'll give more examples because, yeah, this is an interesting topic. And the different political things these men try to tell me and say, and then they try to tell, like, especially as a woman, they tell me that it's not ladylike. They tell me it's not ladylike. They just want me to shut up and cook for them, shut up and do their laundry, shut up and bend over for them. Yeah, sounds about, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.